Okay, so I was gonna do a whole spiel about having no weapons into this review, given the theme of the movie, but I don't know, it's okay, I guess. So speaking of that okayness, hey everybody, what's up? This is Retrokid Reviews talking about finally a new movie in 2026. What a concept! Yeah, the last 3 months here on the channel has been rough with winter and everything, and being a New Yorker with back-to-back blizzards was a lot. But spring is coming, which means there will be new movies and shows I could talk about because, yes, we're finally in March, and that means, holy crap, I gotta watch probably, what is it, Invincible and Daredevil at the same month. Yeah, help me in the comments down below, and, I don't know, toss in person my, I guess, watch revenue as far as this goes. So that being said, some other quick announcements before we get into this review. I may or may not be having a new thumbnail artist, if they're watching. Hi, how are you? And, if things don't pan out, things don't pan out. So we'll figure that out as we go along. So that being said, on to Netflix slop, which is kind of interesting and weird, given everything that's been going on with the Paramount situation of it all that unraveled last week. So go to my DC news on that. So yeah, War Machine. It is a Alan Richardson vehicle, which I thought in the community notes in the preview for this review, I thought was going to be a Terminator knockoff kind of vibe. I was half right. It had a lot of Battle LA knockoff vibes. What do I mean by that? And for that old, I guess almost 15 plus old movie, had a lot of Army Rangers going into LA when with alien invasions. I thought it'd be along the same lines there. Close. More importantly, it's Alan Richardson plays a veteran Army soldier that wants to get into the Rangers program, and he was on their last week of training. I forgot. Okay, long story short, for any veterans that may or may not be subscribers to my channel, hi if you are. Just let me know if I got any jargon wrong, or more importantly, if Lionsgate got it wrong. So, the production of this movie is okay. A lot of Ontario and New Zealand backdropping, Colorado. Woodlands to be basically what would be the landmass they would normally use for the training regiments and stuff like that. Again, we'll get to the whole gimmick here for this movie in a bit, but the director of this movie, I believe Patrick Hughes, was mostly known for the Hitman's Bodyguard franchise and a bunch of low-tier Lionsgate stuff. I think even directed Expendables 3, so go to a very long, old review if I ever got around to watching that PG-13 nerfed mess when it comes to that movie, when it comes to the Expendable franchise as a whole. Oh, I also am prepped for this. I finally got around to sitting through Expendables 4, and wow, that was mid. No wonder I skipped on watching that back in 2023. So, yeah, so me, I guess, future-proofing future Lionsgate reviews aside, this movie was okay. For what it was, when you get the inciting incident with a robot dropping in and having to have Richardson be on the back foot throughout almost 80% of the movie, is actually pretty good. It has a lot of reverse Predator vibes, like just basically being in training and then being on the back foot right from the jump. So it's really cool. For Isela Morales and Dennis Quaid, who basically bookend this movie for being like the Army general, I guess, instructors for this entire Hell Week, essentially, to basically, they'd be like, he has a history, maybe he isn't ready, he didn't go to, like, therapy right after, his inciting incident to basically take leave before going back into regiment training, Ranger training. That being said, it's more plot-oriented this time around because effects-wise, it's not too messy, it's some particle effectsy with the blood and gore, which probably, justifies having an R for a Lionsgate project at this point. Other than that, it's okay. I mean, there could be worse things Alan Richardson could be doing, other than, I guess, waiting for another season of Reacher. Ultimately, if anything, I'll say this, just to wrap up the review. Yeah, this is gonna be a short one, guys, just letting you know in advance. It could be worse. Honestly, this movie could be a lot worse. It's okay on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it would have got thrashed into theaters if it went to theaters, because I think it would have been out the same weekend as, like, I don't know, the second or third week of Scream 7. For anyone who's wondering, am I going to be watching that review, or am I going to be watching that and reviewing that? No, I'm going to honor mostly the boycotts. I'm going to honor a lot of Melissa Morera fans and Jenna Ortega fans, everything they had to go through getting booted off of that production. I'll talk more about that when I officially have, I guess, Scream 7 on digital, so I could talk about that after the fact with the box office, because I don't think it's affecting it either way. One of the, I guess, sad things about boycotts and stuff like that. So, anyway. Last thoughts on getting back to War Machine and final ratings. Um, I'm not gonna spoil much. Again, it's a generic action movie with, a very loose sci-fi twist. You get to kind of see how like the gears are turning into like Alan's character, how he's trying to get into it. And I do say character because I think in army training you're just basically a number vibe. So I'm not gonna spoil the number. It's 81, I think. But yeah, he's really good. He's doing what he could with the material. You could definitely tell he wants to be more visceral, like he's still on like Reacher's set or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Ultimately, the robot itself is very generic. I'm sorry to say. If there's world building to it, they kind of thought that last, like at the book end of the movie, which made no sense. You like they were drip feeding the information of like it slowly progressing into Earth and stuff like that, going into the trading grounds later down the road, and then not much lore till like the last almost like 5 minutes of the movie. Like this is a very tight 90 in like the worst way, where they just want to speed run to like the action set pieces they had lined up. Um, yeah, there is some harrowing stuff. A lot of mountain range climbing to basically double for Colorado mountains that the New Zealand and Toronto units they had to use on location to do. There is a sneak peek. I think there was like behind the scenes just before the movie dropped. Cards there if you at all interested in trying out this movie, but ultimately to me it's a 7 out of 10, a very flat 7 out of 10. It's given like early, like back in like the 2000s kind of rental days of just like people you like on TV trying to like get a check and then get out pretty quick. It's kind of what it feels like. But for Richardson, he is definitely putting work into it. You can definitely feel like, I know I'm just coming off of my Resident Evil review last week, but a lot of Chris Redfield vibes from him. Weird as it sounds. I mean, there are probably better fan castings for him. Obviously, a Batman in the future, maybe for Richardson, for Free for the Bold, if everyone's been fan casting that correctly, me included. But yeah, this movie just makes me want to talk about stuff this cast would rather be doing right now. And no shade to the cast itself. Like I said, they're all normal people. They're all like have decent social histories. I haven't really checked too much into it. I think Dennis Quaid's fairly normal. This feels pretty rough to be in post Substance. Just gonna be real with him. And honestly, I just feel like Quaid just wants to ride the coattails off of Jack at this point, because yeah, Jack is going to be doing the final season of I think The Boys pretty soon, and I know there's a new season of New Adventures with Superman. Sorry, My Adventures with Superman. I don't know as far as that kind of superhero stuff goes for Jack. But yeah, again, this is really a movie that makes me want to talk about like other things this cast rather be doing, other projects they'd rather be doing. And honestly, this feels like a January movie that should have been out 3 months ago. Sorry to say, but it's still a decent, like, movie to watch. If you're just here for the action, if you're here for the for the visuals, it's good. It's not discount like a Netflix on a budget. Like, it's a little elevated. You can definitely tell the cinematography did more of the heavy lifting when it comes to showing a lot of like photography, a lot of like lighting, the rigging and everything for Richardson. I'm getting more under the hood about this supposed engineer fighting an otherworldly robot. That's kind of like the loosest like character stuff that Alan had to work with. Like he was a Army Corps engineer. He has like okay like gearhead work, not to like the extent of like Fast and Furious levels of writing. So your mileage may vary there. And the burps aside, what is your overall thoughts with this movie? Did you go see it at home on Netflix? And more importantly, do you think Alan Richardson should be in better, bigger action movie franchises, or I guess action vehicles like this, speaking of the engineers of it all, more for later down the road in the future? And more importantly, what version of DC characters other than Batman you think he can do a pretty good job with? Let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, it's an okay movie. It's not mid, which is the good news, but honestly, it's slightly better than mid, barely, mind you. So, that being said, and I guess forgetting how to generalize aside, hands here for the end cards to my previous review, which was obviously my Resident Evil Requiem review. Shorts playlist here for Critical Role stuff, and I don't know if there was any other news I might have missed. But yeah, hopefully this Monday or maybe Tuesday, I'm finally going to get around to doing a full breakdown of not only the Soldiers Table arc, but now the Seekers Table arc, as of this recording has just ended. So hopefully I can do a full breakdown of it. If not, that'll be weekend content because I'm very much aware teasers dropped for what will potentially be the final season of The Legend of Vox Machina. For those who are worried, that was bound to happen. This was a really short campaign back in the day versus like 2 and 3. So I'll talk more about that later down the road. So with that being said, I'm Retrokid saying, yeah, not the movie I wanted to start 2026 reviews with, but hey, it's better than nothing, like I said in the notes.